Hello and welcome to Teen Trials. It's the B-Class final.
Over the past few weeks, we've seen 12 B-Class riders challenging for one of the top 3 spots on the B-Class leaderboard.
And that's brought us to where we are today with Lee Sampson, Sam Haslam and Matthew Jones, who'll be battling it out over our specially redesigned finals course. There are 2 new obstacles. Let's take a look at them. The first of the changes is the introduction of this 30-yard long tree trunk. The riders have to negotiate it by hopping over it 3 times before eventually riding along it its entire length. This is the rider's eye view from the second of our new obstacles, the concrete slab. And I tell you, it really is awesome up there for the riders, and because it's so difficult, we've actually adapted the rules slightly, and I'll tell you more about that when we get to it.
Thanks, Pete. Now, before we see Matthew, our first rider, attempt his first run, let's see how he made it through to the final.
That's clean. Brilliant. Oh, that is terrific. The back wheel just in the right place to kick forward. Sponsored rider, of course, so expecting great things of him. He's held it. He's still held it. No forward movement. That's good. He's done it. So, first rider to go.
Okay, good luck.
And you'll see how the course pans out. They still have this very awkward right-hand turn, this 90-degree turn, and the 5-second balance right at the beginning. Matthew's done that very well. Now, you remember this was only cleaned once in the preliminary rounds, in the heats, but he's done that very well. But now the course takes a slightly different route, different stepping stones, and over these very big stones at the end. Now these rocks are sharp, and there's quite a hike up, so we'll see just how the riders make out on this. He's having difficulty getting his balance. You've got to be balanced before you attack it, and then it's a lot of throttle and a lot of clutch control, and he's away, and he's made it so far. No, foot down, so that's 1. Still only 1, but he's got to get the bike on the top so he can get it over. This is just taking time. It's not causing him a lot of penalties. He's still only got the 1 penalty. Can he heave it over? They don't have to wait there, so if he can get over, and away. The logs, pretty much the same as before, just a little couple of logs which move, and then up to the top, and the balance on the sump. He's well balanced there, that's a good position. You can kick off that, but on the way down there's a little bunny hop he's got to get over, and that has to be got over without touching the tape, and he does it well. So now Matthew comes around onto the tree trunk, and this is a zigzag, and the angles that they come over the logs make it progressively more difficult. 3 hops over, and now he's got to turn around and come back along the whole length of the log. Nice control. If they come off the log, they've got to get back on it because they must make the exit gate, which he does. Matthew's riding GP Peter 200, and he's been riding for 7 years. He started when he was 8, quite late compared with some of the lads we see. Now, we haven't altered these tyres. He's in a good balance position at the top, so that's excellent. Should clean this. Tyres exactly the same. This is the lull before the storm, because next up it's the concrete blocks. So this is where the rules change somewhat, because this is seriously difficult. He's got to kick up onto the top of some giant concrete slab. On the top there, 2 spotters. Steve on the far side, Adrian this side, and he's allowed to put his feet down. He's not been helped yet. That's excellent, so he's made it. Now, the rules have changed. We allow them to put their feet down to come around there. He had 2 spotters up there who could have helped him, and he would have got a penalty if they'd helped him. But they didn't, so he's clear so far. He'll feel very confident about that now. Good leap down, and now back over the next concrete slab to come into the finish. This will be a quick run out. He makes it. Excellent run out. Well, that was fantastic. I mean, I know we made it a little easier because he put his feet down, but wasn't that great?
That was absolutely amazing. I really thought he wasn't going to get up there without any help, so he only got 1 penalty point on the first section with the rock. Next up, it's Sam Haslam. Let's see how he made it through to the final.
This is terrific. We haven't had this particular obstacle cleaned since we started, and he's done it. No faults yet. Can he stay clean? They can drop a wheel though and easily get into difficult. Oh, and he has! Oh, I can't believe it! Can he hold this together? He's got to go clean here. He's held his balance. Only just. He's away and he's through. He must have done it. His time's good enough.
Good luck.
Well, young Sam was the C-class champion, national champion in 2000. Just 13 now. Oh dear. This has always proved to be a difficult obstacle. He's got a 5-second hold here and he's only got 1 penalty so far, but he's going to find it difficult to balance there. My word, he's doing it. Just made it. Got a clean at the end, but he had 1 dab going up there, so 1 penalty so far. Now this caused a bit of trouble to Matthew, who went just before him. It's quite a big kick up there in a very short forward distance, so no opportunity to run up, and a foot down. So he's got 1 there and out. Sam comes from Buckinghamshire. His aim to be in the top 5 in the world. And who knows, at the age of 13, that's a nice ambition, and he's probably got every chance. Good leap out and clear over the bunny hop. As he heads onto the tree trunk, all the lads looked at this and thought, this is really quite difficult. But actually, they have practiced over the course, and they thought it did get progressively more difficult, but he's managed that nicely. This bike here, a Gas 200 Pro. Sam lists amongst his interests trials, push bike trials and fast cars. So he's a bit too young to be driving them, so maybe passengers in them at the moment. He's got a good balance point at the top there. The hooter, as usual, signals the start and the finish of his 5 seconds. And so he's done the tyres nice and clean. I suspect his family and friends in Chalfont St Peter will be keeping their fingers crossed as he comes up now onto this big concrete slab. He's got a foot down. That's not against him if he can get up now without assistance, and he's done it. So Adrian and Steve weren't needed again there, and he's hopping that around very nicely. He doesn't need to. He could have put his feet down, wouldn't have penalised him. We're quite lax on this, but it is a difficult obstacle for these B-class riders, and he's nicely down. So just 1 rock slab to come through. And a brilliant ride again. Excellent. Well, this is going to be close. We knew it would be.
Well, he got 2 penalty points for the course, but I have to just say that hopping round on the brick was unexpected and very good. Next up, it's Lee Sampson.
If he can clean this, he'll be leading in this particular heat. As we said, pretty accurate, just 2 penalties. 2nd place on the leaderboard beckons, and a place almost guaranteed, in fact definitely guaranteed in the final.
Okay, Lee.
So Lee about to set off on his GP Beta 200. Been riding for just 4.5 years. That makes him actually the least experienced of the riders in this final, but oh, and a foot down there. Can he make it with just the 1 foot? At the moment it's just 1 penalty. Taking up time though. Now he's got to get round and on and balance. Oh, another one, so that's 2. So he definitely won't be in first place at the end of this run. Can he go quick enough to end up in 2nd place? Sam Haslam set quite a target in 2nd place with his just a little over 2.5 minutes. Another one there, so that's 3. He can only afford 1 more now on this section before getting a full 5. And he's nicely out. I think Lee will be a little bit disappointed with this so far. 3 dabs there, which will certainly leave him in 3rd place at the end of this first run. It's important that he concentrates and keeps it together from here on in. But of course, he's got the big concrete blocks to come at the end, which they're pretty scary. This is taking him a bit of time. Nicely out. Onto this giant tree trunk now. Those 3 penalties, they're really smart. Because, I think Lee was very confident coming into this. But he's neatly over there. Good control. And now get round. If they break any of these tapes, of course, they go out of the course, and that would be a fail. So he's not broken any tapes, and he's through. I doubt if there's much likelihood of Lee not having the fastest time the way he's been riding this. But with 3 penalties, I suppose time could become quite important a little bit later. But that's a good balance. These big tyres are now the easiest obstacle on the course. And he's ridden them perfectly. Next, the slabs. And waiting at the top of these slabs, Lee's dad and Sam Haslam's dad. They're the helpers, Steve and Adrian. They're the spotters. If they help him up, he'll just get 1 penalty. No penalty for feet on this. There without help, so no penalties. Now he's got to get round. And again, putting the feet down, we're allowing those for these B-class riders. It's a tough obstacle. And really, I think that Lee is just going for speed now, because that's possibly going to come into the equation if he's equal on points at the end of a second run. Very nicely finished. I think he'll be disappointed with that.
I think he will be a little bit, but it's quite a tough run. He got 3 penalty points, a bit more than the other lads. Well, looking at the standings, Matthew's in the lead after the first runs, but all that could change when they go over the course in the reverse direction. Join us after the break to find out who's going to be the Team Charles B-Class champion. Welcome back to the Team Charles B-Class final. Matthew's currently in first place, but all that could change after their second run.
And in 3rd place after the first run was Lee Sampson, so he's got to go first on the reverse run. What are your tactics, Lee?
Just clean everything, really. That's all I can do.
Well, you've only got 3 penalties, so keep it accurate. Very best of luck. Start your engine. Over the Jane. And so the second run starts with the most difficult obstacle. Again, the rules are that you can use your feet to get up there for no penalty. If the helpers help you up, then you get 1. And he made it. No assistance at all. The helpers, Adrian getting hit on the way around. We don't penalise for the turnaround on there. So he's cleaned that. Excellent start. So he said he wanted to go clean. He has done so far. So after the hardest obstacle, this 14-year-old from Sheffield can now tackle what is probably the easiest obstacle. His big tyres, it's dry, he's got his balance. He has. They've got to lock that front wheel across there to keep them there. Makes it look ever so easy. It's actually very difficult, but nicely clean. Round he comes onto the tree trunk. We've got to ride it along the whole length of it first. Again, it's nice and dry, so it's not causing too much of a problem, but they've got to be careful. Nicely over. Just these little hops. It's a tight little bit of course here. He mustn't go outside it. Just catching the sump there on the log, but keeping his balance well. He said he wanted to go clean, and he has. At least it's clear so far. 2 obstacles to go. Again, quite an easy ride up on this side, and that's perfect position, good balance. And on the way down from this, another bunny hop. The bunny hop's removed. Mustn't touch the tape. If they do, here he comes. He's now going to throw the bike over that and does very well. And he's clear so far. Is it easier in this direction? I'm not so sure, but he's nicely over. Very neat. Stepping stones next. Before he comes for the 5-second hold. I should think his time's pretty good as well overall. Hopping around. This is not too simple, but he's nicely up. And he's clean. No, he's not. And the foot down. So he's got one there, and he has to balance. And he's probably got to get back up on the top with only one dab. And that's all he's taken. It's a bit of a stretch. If he lifts that foot and then puts it down again, of course that is another dab, but he's done it. A real effort for him there. He's not moving forward, a little bit wobbly, but he's holding it and he's away. So it looks as though he's going to go with just the one penalty there. So he couldn't quite clean the course. Well done, Lee. Just the one. So Sampson's on his way here. He's actually riding a borrowed bike. This is a Gas 125. I said it was a 200 earlier. It isn't. It's a borrowed bike. His is out of action. And possibly not quite enough power to get up there. But as I say, he's not being helped yet. If he asks for help, Adrian and Steve were up there to help him if he needed it. But they don't. So down they go. Sam, we count that as clear. Even with that foot down, we also count it as clear. Special dispensation. And the foot down there in the section which will cost him one. Like I said earlier, he's only 13. He's the youngest competitor in the finals. He's a jolly good rider. But he's already lost one of the penalties he had in hand. But he's clean there. His time on the first leg was extremely good. He was the fastest of the three riders. Nicely along this long trunk. And now he's got to get round and over again, which he does very well. Clean so far on this section. And I say his time was very good, and so he does have plenty of time in hand, even if he gets another penalty. Into the log section now. Very quickly up to the top. Now balances again for the 5. The difficult area at the bottom here, though, you can come off the top, is to get over the bunny hop, which he does perfectly. Well, Sam's got a little over a minute and a half in hand and one penalty. Now, he hasn't got a penalty on there yet. He might get one. He might get one, and it's taking him time. But no, he's over. So despite being a 125, just a little bit short on power perhaps, and it is a borrowed bike, so he's not as familiar as all that with it. But he's doing extremely well. Still got time in hand, still got one penalty in hand over young Matthew. Just got away with that. And he's through nicely at the end.
Are you ready?
So this 15-year-old from Scunthorpe sets off. His GP Beta 200. And he's going, as you heard, for accuracy. He can't do much about the speed. Okay, he's going to be all right. He's not asked for any help, and he's on the top. So Adrian and Steve can get down. Matthew here is, his dad couldn't get time off to come with him today, so Steve Haslam brought him over to take part, and that was good. Now he tackles what we're becoming to think of as the easy tyres. They certainly didn't look easy when we first arrived here for the very first heat of teen trials. But these three riders today have made those look very simple. Like a lot of young riders, he's heavily into all sorts of sport, as well as cyclo trials. He likes golf and football. What young lads don't like football, I suppose, and tennis as well. Well, he's a very skillful rider, very determined. He was very determined in the heats, I seem to remember. All his mates at Foxhill's school in Scunthorpe, they'll all be cheering him on. Nicely balanced, good position there. And make sure he can clean the bunny hop at the bottom here. And he does. So now Matthew comes over the stones. These nasty rocks, which of course such a problem for so many riders during the course of teen trials. But if he can clean this, he is our winner. I think we're looking at the winner of the B class. He's through it nicely. That is the winning run. Look at that. The fist goes up. Is he pleased or what?
I think so. Just a little clear run, obviously, and one penalty on the first run. Brilliant.
Fantastic. That's our winner.
What a terrific second run there by Matthew. Perfect riding all the way.
It's been a really fantastic final. Everything we could possibly have hoped for. I think all three boys did remarkably well, but in the end, it was Matthew Jones who takes first prize. There you are, Matthew. Congratulations. Tell me, you came here in third place. You can't possibly have expected to win.
Well, no, it was stiff competition, but age won in the end.
Yeah, I'm sure it did. Well, congratulations to all three of you.
Well, next week it's the A-class final, and for Kirk Vitty, Stephen Suddies and Paul Wardle, it's certainly going to be close.
Yeah, it really is. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you'll join it. So next week, don't forget, it's the A team. But now, the B team can celebrate.